What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Clippers versus T-Wolves game that happened last night. Very entertaining, fun game to watch. This isn't really a recap. I'm not going to break down every quarter or every major play, but more of my reaction to the game, what I saw, my favorite points, things like that. And first things first, the best thing of the entire night was the TNT crew. Charles, Clark, Kenny. Did I say Clark? Charles, Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq. Excuse me. Them playing the clip of "We Are the Champions" with the T Wolves. That little montage of them standing on the table and going crazy. Pat Bev, Anthony Edwards. That was hilarious. That was the best thing of the night. That might be maybe even better than the entire game. But the game was very fun to watch though. Um, and the thing to me, and I have a couple points on both teams, but I'm gonna start with the T Wolves who did win the game. The T Wolves are very dangerous. I don't think they're gonna beat Memphis and nothing like that. It's gonna be a very chippy, very aggressive, very physical series. But if they do beat Memphis, which is gonna be tough, I doubt it. If they do, I wouldn't be so surprised as other people. They had the team to beat them. They have a team to get pretty far into the playoffs. Honestly, and it's all relying upon two guys, and that's Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell. Cat's gonna give you what he give you. Last night was kind of an albatross. Got in foul trouble early, only 24 minutes, 11 points, 5 rebounds. You know, that's not gonna happen too often. But Edwards giving you 30, D'Angelo Russell giving you 29. That's not a every night occurrence as it should be, in my personal opinion. I know they took up the slack for Cat, but they should be averaging close to those more than they often are. And my favorite player on this team personally is D'Angelo Russell. And throughout his entire career, even in Ohio State, in college. When he's aggressive, when he's not just playing for just not playing the facilitator role and shooting threes, when he can do his inside game, drive to the point, a drive to the bucket, mid range, floater, he's an overall good player on offense. He's not just a 3-point shooter because he can get in a rhythm of just jacking up threes, which he can't hit a bunch of at certain times. But once he get into the facilitator slash scorer role, which he doesn't do too often all the time. You know what I mean? He can give you nights like this when you unlock a fully loaded D'Angelo Russell. He's dangerous. He's dangerous. He's always been my favorite point guards in today's league since Ohio State. When I seen him, his style, his smoothness, I'm like, yeah, he's amazing. Just he has to be more aggressive. And when he does, he is phenomenal to watch. He can take over a game or help you take over a game. Pairing him with Anthony Edwards with him was fantastic last night. I didn't see every post game interview. I've seen one. I don't know if it's real or not, but Anthony Edwards said the Clippers were scared to guard him. At least I've seen that on the Instagram post from I don't think it was an official site though, an official page. If it was, I'm not sure. If it wasn't, I'm not sure. But the thing is, if it is or isn't true of him saying, quote, the Clippers were scared to guard me, they look like they though. They look like they were scared to guard him. His speed off the dribble, that one dribbles off the dribble, his speed is phenomenal. Young guy, second year in the league, but his speed, his physical prowess, he was bullying Marcus Morris, he was bullying Paul George, and there was a little flopping here or there. But even if they didn't flop, they weren't gonna stop him. Even if they didn't flop, they were not gonna stop that young man. And he's a very, very good player, phenomenal player, man. And I like him a lot. His aggressiveness. Like I said, he need to pick up a little bit more as well. Just be more aggressive, which he is often. But he got to just pick it up a little bit more. But I know watching JJ Redick's podcast interview with Pat Bev, he said he talks to them more. No, he talks to Anthony Edwards. He talks to Russell and those guys and Cat about being aggressive, being dogs, and you're seeing that. And back to the montage, of them showing emotion, them, talking spicy, Cat talking spicy all year long for the most part. Anthony Edwards talking spicy and saying little things, which is fine. I love it. That's off of Pat Bev, which is great. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't mention him about his play, but You knew he was going to kick it up a notch during this Clippers game. I knew that from a fact. I bet on it. I bet he would have a good game. I didn't see 10 rebounds coming, but we all know, if you know basketball, Pat Bev's one of the best rebounding guards in the whole NBA. You know, he's been that way for a while now. So, but yeah, the Clippers. I mean, excuse me, the Wolves. They're dangerous, and if you can get this Anthony Edwards and this Russell every night in the playoffs, I'm not saying every game during the season, but every night or most nights in the playoffs, they're going to be a hard out for sure. For sure, for sure. So, but on to the Clippers, though. Quickly on to the Clippers, not staying there long. A guy I've been praising, not praising, but a guy I've been talking very, very highly of for about 3, 4 years now, on microphone, on camera. You know, I had been on camera before on my face, but on microphone, on camera, my podcast years ago, Paul George. I've been talking heavy on Paul George. I've been saying some things like he's top 5 in the league. He can be top 5, things of that nature. People call me crazy. But every time you see Paul George, for the most part, you know, except for the playoff woes, Paul George phenomenal. And then last night was no different. He was phenomenal. And this is like, man, you know, when the Clippers need a bucket, even when Kawhi is there, or when he was there, you know, he injured all this year. When Kawhi was there, it's still Paul George's show to a certain degree until Kawhi decides to take over. But until then, Paul George is a big shot getter. Even his days at OKC, going back to OKC, going back to his time with the Pacers. Paul George is the guy. He is a guy. He is the big guy. He's up there. You know, you got monsters like KD. You have LeBron. You have monsters that have, you know, made people not recognize it fully. But without these monsters, you know, if you have Paul George playing the same way he plays, you know, maybe if Paul George was born about 10 years later, 7 years later, you know, and he ducked prime LeBron, prime KD and these guys, and he come in now with Tatum and Jalen Brown and those boys, Paul George look like, you know, as right below Giannis, you know, in my personal opinion, because Paul George right now, still today, is better than Tatum to me, better than Brown. I know the Celtics are going crazy right now, but I still have Paul George upper echelon. And like I said, people think I'm crazy for that. That's just me, but you know, I think he's upper echelon. I've always said that for the last 3, 4 years on camera, proven. Check my podcast, you know, my podcast tab in like the playlist. You'll see me talking about basketball, talking about Paul George. Yeah, he's upper echelon to me. I've always said that. You know, but other than that though, they're missing Kawhi Leonard. There's not much to say. You know, without him, they have no real shot of going that far. I forgot who they play next, or no, they don't know. They don't know who they play next. They play tonight. The team played tonight. I forgot who the two options were, but either way, I think the Clippers will win. To be honest, but they're not going too far. Let's be honest. So I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, Paul George showed out. Paul George showed out. No one else really did. You know, Zubac did okay. You know, Powell did okay, but you know, they lack a scoring punch without without Kawhi Leonard. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.